This episode is brought to you by Red Riding Hood, the manga-inspired take on the classic fairy tale for readers grades K through 2, written by Christina Oxtra. In Red Riding Hood, readers review the classic story in a brand new way, with twists in the story, more diverse characters, and featuring Japanese aesthetics incorporated throughout. Red Riding Hood is part of a series published by Capstone and written by various artists with unique takes on your childhood favorites. Look out for Red Riding Hood, available on Amazon and your local bookstores. Congratulations, Christine, on your first published book. The link is in the show description.
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on. It's on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on Boss Rush Games. This is episode 107. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deerigan. Alongside me, as always, is the wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
What's the matter? You hurt?
He's back.
How's it going, everyone?
He's back.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I know.
I mean, I think I did do an episode with you this month, but I think only one.
Yeah, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Ed
Yeah.
filled in last week. Talked a lot
Yeah.
of Nintendo on the show.
Yeah.
Also,
You didn't get into any fights or anything with him, like I tend to do a lot of the times.
no, we just kind of let him go. It was fine.
Yeah.
Jesse, the thing that we need to update you on is we've added to the Xbox team on Boss Rush
Yeah.
Games, and they're joining us today.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well,
Hello.
Hi.
Joe Wilson, a.k.a. Colonel Panic, is back.
Second in a row. That means it's official, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
third.
No, I
Probably
think it's
third.
probably got to be three.
I think it's
Yeah, gotta
three.
be
I think it's like the dating thing where like 3 dates, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we could end the show here and then start it up
Just start.
again.
Oh, yeah. Let's
and
do
then
that.
and then there you go. It's
Yeah.
3.
Hello, everybody. This is Arsenal. I'm just kidding. Also joining us, you know him from Tower Casual's appearances and his 1v1, but we have
Oh, yeah.
the Will-O-Wisp.
This is my fourth time on. Suck it, Colonel.
Yep. So it's
Present it.
Presented. This is good. Oh my gosh. I can see. Yeah, so if people haven't been paying attention to Boss Rush stuff, we've added to the team quite a bit. We grew from like 5 to 12 very rapidly. So it's very awesome to grow the Xbox team because like we saw, we added Celeste to the Nintendo team, right? Like she's been doing a great job with Power Block in 1v1 actually. And then Crossroads, like that whole team has kind of formed and is just there now, the PlayStation team. And now we have like a full roster for the Xbox team. This is exciting. We have a Halo master here in Colonel. We have like the Destiny / other with Willow.
You could just call me the master. That's fine.
I could, but
I'm uncomfortable with that.
I know.
It's like you'll get used to it.
Willow makes everyone uncomfortable.
That's my job.
So yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to the Xbox team. We also had a very productive meeting about the YouTube side of things beforehand. It was very cool. That's all I have to say is it's very cool.
Nice.
So things are happening and it's exciting me to the point where I have a lot of work to do. Also redid the website so it's easier to get around. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but
That's good.
There's 36 pages of articles I have to sort through to recategorize, and I've gotten through 5. So you might hear some clickety clacks during this episode. It is me. I apologize. Just trying to get work done, guys. I'm multitasking, that's a big key to getting work done, I hear. So I'm going to try some of that. But how is everybody? Everybody doing good? Everybody weekend go well?
Yeah,
Mhm.
another
Yeah,
busy
absolutely.
weekend for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Jesse,
finally
you go.
got new AC installed, so I am super
That's good.
cool.
That's
I'm
awesome.
so happy.
Nice.
I'm so excited because my desk has an air conditioning vent literally right next to my chair, and it just blows up into my face. And that's why I'm wearing a hoodie, because it's kind of cold. Although it's been chilly here, so our windows are open, so the air conditioning is not on. But it was just a couple, So, all right. So some housekeeping real quick. This is Arsenal X, the Xbox show here on Boss Rush Games, where we throw up the X.
Oh, that's my cue.
Because we're here. We're here to throw down. Every week we come together with our friends from around the internet to talk about the latest news, rumors, games, and more in the world of Xbox. You can catch us live on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/BossRushGames live at 9 p.m. Eastern to join in the conversation. If you can't join us live, no big deal. You can head on over to youtube.com/BossRushGames and podcast services every Tuesday morning. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review wherever you consume the show. And you can catch all of our content and our family of shows on BossRushGames.com. Before we get into these topics, a lot of good topics today. Great Halo topic today. Very excited to talk about this, actually. What are you guys playing? Jesse, I'm going to start with you. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but...
Yeah, I actually purposely didn't talk about one game, but I got a chance to go back to Grounded again because I just absolutely love that game. I seriously, like, I know it's not like fully out yet, but it's like probably one of my favorite things to play of this year right now. I know I think they had an update. I think they added some more stuff. But yeah, man, because I've said this multiple times on this show on Boss Rush, I am not much of a big fan of like the survival games, but they do it well enough in that game that I don't mind it. Like I just, like it's very easy to refill your water and food, things like that. Like I just hate when they make that way too big of a task, and like where you really have to go out of your way to refill those things and keep them up. I just feel like this game does such a good job of just kind of making that very easy, and it's just a very light version of a survival. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that growing, and I think there was like an article where they talked about birds eventually coming in.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you excited for the birds?
Yeah, it's just gonna be crazy. It's like, like
I wonder if you can build a giant bird like they did in A Bug's Life.
I was just gonna say this sounds like a Bug's
Yeah.
Life coming to a
Yeah.
video game.
build one that like just a fake one or whatever that scares the other ones away or what.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know, but that would be interesting if you're just like straight up trying to run through an open area that doesn't have a whole lot of cover, and all of a sudden you just have to see this like shadow on all around you. It just gets dark and you're just like, oh crap, and have to run for cover.
So is that game like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids scenario, or is there like a story as to why you're so small?
Yeah, so the idea is yeah, you got shrunk just like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but like you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on and why you've been shrunk. I mean, they, like from what I've done so far, they kind of make it obvious that there's something pretty, big going on. Like it has to have
Was that
been.
pun intended?
Yeah.
Ayo.
No, I'd like to say it was, but yeah, because there's like straight up just crazy like buildings that are underground that are your size while you're shrunk, and it's like, well, that has to have been there, purposely. Like someone actually shrunk themselves and built that structure or whatever, So I don't, I don't know a whole lot exactly yet of what's going on, but like basically there's these like little station things that are all over, and when you go to them, there's usually like a cassette tape like thing that you can listen to, and it kind of gives you a little chunk of the story of like what's going on. You know, it's a scientist that makes these like logs or whatever, and you're kind of listening to that and slowly piece things together. You know, like for as little of the game that's available right now, there's honestly a lot to keep you busy, you know, like a lot you can do, you know, for hours and hours. And I think they said that they're only got like maybe 20% of the game available right now. So, but I mean, you know, it is Obsidian. So, you know, they're known for making some pretty elaborate, like story driven, you know, games and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I just love the whole idea, you know, like I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That was like one of my favorite movies, you know, at that time. And like, I think they're doing a really good job of it. So you probably heard my son, like the kids upstairs, they're always loud. But
shrink them.
Yeah,
It works.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to more of this game, though. Like I absolutely love what they have for now. So, and it could only get better as they add more and more to it. You know, I've been kind of like thinking up like what are some things that they could do in this game, and like I was thinking like it would be cool if they had the pill bugs, you know, like those bugs that roll up into like an armor ball, basically like Metroid, and like, you know, like have them but they're bigger and they could actually, you know, and like have it where you have to like maybe do damage to their little armor, you know, of them before you can actually like do actual damage to kill them, you know. And just, you know, they could do interesting things like that where they could play on you know, the way bugs, you know, bodies and things are, and, you know, like they could obviously add like something really crazy, you know, creepy like centipedes or whatever that would just be like intense to try to fight, you know, like you think about like just how, like if any bug basically was made gigantic, that it would just be like the most terrifying thing in the world. You know, so yeah, I've been thinking about things like that, like where they could, you know, go as far as adding things, you know, like they could do the whole Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and add like what are they called, the scorpions or whatever, but I don't know.
Even like a lawnmower.
Yeah, a lawnmower that sucks you up and then spits you to a different part of the world.
If it doesn't kill you.
Yeah, so I don't think you're coming out of that alive.
Yeah.
Sucked into a lawnmower.
I don't know. I don't think anybody's have ever tried it.
I don't know. I watched Mad Men in that episode where he gets his foot run over by the lawnmowers.
That guy was life size, though. We're talking about being tiny.
I know. Man. So.
But yeah, like they do the whole like thing like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, though, where you've got like there's a juice box that's sitting in the yard, and you can drink the juice, and then it will not only fill your water, but it also fills your food, you know. So like they've got the whole like where you find food in the yard. Good night. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I want to try to play it with like maybe like all of us someday could even do like something one night, like if we can make it work, try to do like
I know the one thing that we wanted to do for a while is do the show from the bow of a ship on Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Maybe we do it in Grounded also at some point.
Yeah, we could do that. That would be fun, because I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing both of you guys have Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you don't. Okay.
Will only plays Destiny and other.
Wait a minute. I'm playing different games right now too.
No, you don't.
Well, if we're gonna do that, I can give you a month of Game Pass.
Ayo.
I got a couple codes.
Yeah, can you still get it for like $1 right now for a
Yeah,
month?
your
I
first
think you
month
can.
is
Yeah, I
$1.
think there's still the dollar.
Oh, I'm
promotion,
not giving you a code.
That'd be
But
awesome.
yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I have a bunch of games that I want to go back to and stuff and put some time in here. Hopefully, I'll get some free time. But man, with homeschooling and all those kinds of fun things, I don't know how much free time I'm gonna have for the rest of the year.
I'm so glad that my kid's not old enough to be in school right now, because that would just be
Right? I'm in the same
Same.
boat as you. Yep.
Same.
Yeah.
So, Willow, we're gonna jump to you.
Heyo.
I know you said you've been playing some other things besides Destiny, which was a
I
surprise. to
have,
hear.
yes. So I actually, it's nothing crazy, but I've been playing a few rounds of Dead by Daylight.
What? That's
Going back to
crazy.
that. Yep. That used to be like my Destiny, where it was the only game I played for a long time. Steam also was having some sales. I picked up The Witcher 1 and 2
Ooh.
for a total of combined $3, which was, I figured, why not? So probably jump to those here soon.
Witcher 2 is
also-
very good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'm excited to try that one. Honestly, I don't know if I'll get to The Witcher 1, but I have it in my library now, so in case I ever do. I also have Horizon on Steam now as well, so I'd like to give it a shot on PC. It's fantastic on PlayStation, but I'm not going to talk about that on the Xbox show.
Gosh, it's gonna be like Ed again. Just put $1
That's-
in the swear jar, in the other console swear jar.
But yeah, honestly, right now, Destiny, although it's taking a little bit of a back seat right now, just the grind's gotten pretty real. So going back to some other stuff, just some fun games that can occupy your time for a little bit. But definitely some RPGs. That's honestly pretty much it right now for me.
Joe, what are you playing? Halo.
I am playing Halo. I have I think 10 levels left in the season pass in Master Chief Collection. So I've been grinding out some of that stuff, unlocking. So if you haven't played, or if you like playing, they have some really cool stuff that they've done with season pass in there. They have like unlockables for like the stuff, but they've put unlockables for like skins in like Halo 1. And they have like all these Jurassic Park versions of the Warthog, which are really just
Aw,
great.
that's cool.
That is
It's
sweet.
really neat. So like that was like the first unlock that I got was one that looked like the Jeep. And I was like,
that
oh
is so
man,
cool.
and then there's more than one. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go and unlock all these. So and there's like obviously no cost for their season pass right now. So it's just like you just play it and you can just unlock stuff. So I've been playing that, but I also went back and started playing Arkham Asylum, the Return to Arkham Asylum, the remaster version of it. And it's still really fun. Like I after all the Gotham Knight stuff came out, I'm like, oh, I should play that game again. And I originally played it on PlayStation, so I'm playing it on Xbox now, and it's still really fun. A lot of the textures don't hold up as well as I remember. Even for like the remaster just feels like they upscaled it, or so it doesn't really look like it's like remastered.
No, I think the only thing they did was move it from 3 to 4 and then clean some stuff up. But I think that was kind of
I bet they cleaned some like texture popping and like let the hardware unlock because the load times are a lot faster. But it's still really good. So every now and again when I get sick of Halo, like I really like going and just like collecting Riddler trophies and stuff like that. It's a solid game. And I know everyone agrees that it's solid, but again, like that combat in it is still so satisfying to like get on like a good like 20 chain of like hitting people without taking a hit. It just feels great. That's been my week. It's just based mostly Halo. That I play Destiny for like, I do like the weekly achievements to like get my like solstice gear like leveled, and then I gotta back off. I don't want to hit that too hard. It's a lot right now.
Yeah, the solstice stuff is like, I looked at it and we talked about it on Tower Casuals a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this is good. This armor's cool. I'm gonna do it. And then I look at the list of things you have to do. I'm like, ooh, I like my Iron Banner armor. It's just gonna stay on.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I played Destiny like twice a week with my friend Mitch. We play we just do like the weekly stuff. We play for maybe like I would say like 4 hours a week. We just do like our weekly things just to get our pinnacle weapons. And we're like, oh, okay, we're done. We actually played the Division a couple weeks ago because we were so tired of Destiny. But he only has like 3 games. He's like one of those people that only plays Destiny, the Division.
One of those guys.
Yeah, he doesn't even play the Division 2. He still only plays the Division, like the first one.
Interesting.
Oh man,
which is free this month, by the way, if you didn't play it 5 years ago when it came out.
Which I mean, I can both see why someone would maybe want to stick to that one.
I mean, the world events
you know.
and stuff, like all like the events and stuff in the game are still being updated and going on in the first game.
Yeah.
And like that's telling that your second game seemingly didn't take off the way you wanted it to. But
I feel like the perfect review of the Division is a lot of fun until it's not. And you have no idea when it's not going to be fun anymore, but once that hits, you don't want to play it anymore.
I played the Division 2 for 12 hours, and then it stopped being fun. I'm like...
It just stops.
Yeah.
It's just like at some point, like, okay, I don't think this is fun anymore.
Yeah. It's
I could not tell you, there's not a specific moment when that happens, because it's different for everybody.
Yeah. And it's like the thing is like, I spent probably like 30 hours with the Division 1. I beat it. I played through the campaign. I did some of the Dark Zone stuff. I did some of the DLC stuff. I'm like... You know what? I had my fill. If they make a sequel, I would probably play through it. And when the Division 2 got announced, I was like, yes, I'm ready for the Division. I want more Division. Turns out, I guess I really didn't want more Division.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all thought we wanted more Division. I mean, I did, but at the same time, I like the initial release of the Division 2 just wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Like, I mean, there was a lot of things that I really liked better than the first one. But at the same time, like, when it came to the story stuff, like, the story stuff just was not as interesting to me as the first one. So, but...
They had an Assassin's Creed Easter egg.
It's true.
That's the only thing I know about the Division. That's all I got.
The Division sniping and like long range weapons are really fun in the Division. Like I don't know why I love getting like a good scope in that game and like shooting things. Like the gameplay mechanics are solid. It just is only solid for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. And like the one thing I found like right off the bat, like in the first Division, there's 2 things that I like absolutely never used. That was the LMGs and shotguns. They just felt completely useless.
Why would you use a shotgun when you can get way more hit points from like half the map away?
Yeah, but in 2, the LMGs actually seem to do damage. Which was something that I felt like it didn't do in the first one. And like sometimes shotguns actually came in handy, like in the second one. I felt like there were times where I actually used one. But yeah, like the mostly though the LMGs were I like in the first one, they just felt like, because it was so just bullet spongy, that those just absolutely did not do enough damage to even bother using. Like, sure, it was nice having the 100 round clip, but it still ended up being like you would have to use like 25% of the clip to kill one person in the first one, whereas in this one you can actually kill multiple guys with a full 100 round clip, and and it actually feels like it's actually something worth using. I felt like in the second one. So there were things like that I felt like were a little bit better balanced, but yeah, like as far as a lot of the other stuff goes, the second one just did not grab me like the first one. I think too, like I liked the idea of some of the settings and surroundings in that game, but the majority of the in-between just wasn't as interesting as New York was. You know.
You know, it's also tough with that game specifically. Is that like that's another great example of a game that is infinitely more fun when you have someone to play with.
Yes.
But that game is impossible because unless you start playing with someone at the same time, you can never get your friend involved. Because if someone's like, "Hey, I want to start playing the Division," I'd be like, "That's great. Let me know when you're at my level so we can do the stuff that I want to do because I don't want to play through everything again."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like games that are like long like that. Like even think about like Will, like I introduced a friend of mine to Destiny and I had to play through all like the original campaign stuff just to like kind of get him up to level and stuff. And like some of it's fun, most of it's like not fun to play. Like I want to play endgame stuff at that point. So that's always tough with those games as a service. Is anytime you want to introduce a friend to it, it's like there's no entry where like I want to play that again, which stinks. So like your player base just kind of dies out.
That's kind of where we were at last night, Jesse. Right? Like you are kind of a casual Destiny player. I think is safe to say. And like we had just got Xenophage. Me and Mitch had just got it, and Willow helped us get it, and then we were kind of just testing it out on the moon, and like by the way, that gun is just stupid powerful. It's so stupid.
Great.
It's so stupid. Like like how does this gun even exist? But we were just kind of riding around on our tiny sparrows shooting Xenophage, and Jesse gets on, and we were like, what do we do with Jesse? Because he hasn't really finished the campaign yet, but he's still high enough light level to maybe run through a Nightfall. Do we do his weekly so he gets leveled up higher, that kind of thing. So I'm with you there. Like it's even that with the Division. Like I put 30 hours into it on PlayStation, and like I had just created a new agent a couple weeks ago with my friend, and he's he's max level, like super high gear score and everything, and I was just like hiding while he was murdering everybody. And I was like, this is not a fun experience. This is terrible.
It's more of an aiding and abetting simulator, and be like, I'm just gonna hide while you do all the crimes.
Yeah, it's like that Adventure Time meme where like the blue guy runs around like murdering everything, and the dog just kind of picks up everything behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Adventure Time, but that meme's funny. So
that's basically was what it was like whenever I was playing with you guys too, because you guys are always ahead of me. So like you guys would, drag me through something or whatever, so then I could at least progress a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there was that one battle that you had to do in Destiny 2 in order to be able to turn in those I forget what they were called, those newer Ingrams that
the Umbral Ingrams.
Yeah, there was that one where you had to be like I think level 950 or something like that or more to be able to do that thing and get that unlocked. And so I just did where I had to join someone, like a bunch of people who were doing that, and then just hide somewhere, because one, my guns literally just said immune to anytime I would shoot them, and two, I just nothing I did would do any damage, so I had to just like play the game of like hide and seek basically, and hope I don't die.
Games as a service, man. You got to get in there early, and like they need a better way to onboard people, but it's a discussion for another day, I guess. Joe, you playing anything else besides that? No. Okay. I guess I'll talk about what I've been playing. I played a little bit of Destiny this week. Played some Assassin's Creed Odyssey this week.
Yes.
That game.
Odyssey is so good.
It's just one of those games, man. I could play that game forever.
It's so good.
It's like if you were to put things in a single player game, like if you were to make a list of things that I love, that game probably checks 95% of those boxes, right?
Wow.
Like the combat's pretty good. Jumping off high cliffs and just landing without taking fall damage is awesome. Just being able to do it's just, oh man, it's so good. So good.
Hold on though. Did you pick Alexios or did you pick
Oh,
Cassandra?
no. I picked Cassandra. Who picked
Ah,
Alexios?
thank goodness. Okay, cool. I was
Dude.
just making sure.
Who picked Alexios?
Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Did somebody here pick Alexios?
I've never played.
Oh. It's
Corey?
no,
Corey? Okay.
no, I picked Cassandra.
Okay.
So yeah, I was one of those people that when I finished Origins, I was like, man, I would have really loved to play as Aya because she seems like a way more interesting character than Bayek. It took me forever to beat Origins, and like the more
Origins is long.
yeah, well, so is Odyssey though. Odyssey's super long, and I paid the extra $10 for the XP boost, so I think I'm like 40 hours in, and I'm like what 15% done with the story because every time there's a question mark that pops up, I just have to go get it and clear it out and be done with it.
So like I don't know a whole lot about the Assassin's Creed, like the story.
Neither do I. Nobody
all
does.
those kinds of things. Well, like is it?
Did you watch
is
The
it
Matrix? There's your idea.
Yep. Basically.
Well, see, that's the thing though. Is it like you're just trying to go in and for an experience?
No, there's like a story like
There's technically a story, yeah.
yeah, like the Apple of Eden is actually like the story of Adam and Eve actually plays a huge part in the lore of Assassin's Creed. And like the apple, like the forbidden fruit is actually like this all powerful old civilization, like God, like the gods left it there so humans could build a civilization, and then humans, or
The Templars ruined it all.
Yeah, the Templars are like trying to use it to get like rule the world, and the assassins are trying to hide it and like keep it safe so the Templars can't rule the world. So
okay,
and then like to figure out where
I didn't know if there was like some kind of whole like
oh yeah, there's a whole thing
like where because like the whole idea of it being this like technology, basically like a simulation type thing that you're living out, if like there is some kind of corruption to this like this internet or whatever that you're using to go to these places that know like that causes an evil.
Well, what you go into these things because they use your DNA as like an ancestry thing, and like you go in and experience the memories of your ancestors to find the other pieces of Eden, which are the artifacts that the old civilization left behind. And if you have them all, it's like the Infinity Gauntlet, pretty much. You just
or like the Dragon Balls. No, I was kidding.
Basically,
but
after Revelations, the story really took a poop in terms of that aspect of it.
After Revelations, I just kind of stopped paying attention.
So that game is still $60.
Which one?
What, Odyssey?
Yeah,
it's on sale literally every other week.
It's always on sale.
The 120
there was just
version,
a huge sale on Steam for it, not that long ago.
The $120 version was like $17 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
With all the DLC.
I almost got it, but I didn't want to put another 100 hours in.
Yeah, I think I ended up picking up and like I started Odyssey, but I haven't gotten too far because like and I've talked about this a little bit before, but like I had bought Origins and like it was so hyped up and I just it just did not catch me like at all. Like I just did not get into it. But then I was like, well, everyone keeps on going on about how how great Odyssey is, and like people seem to like it way more than Origins, and in a lot of ways, and I'm like, well, and then all of a sudden, it was like on sale. I think I got it for like $10 or something, and I'm like, well, it's so cheap right now. I'd be stupid not to just at least give it a try, and like just the combat and all that stuff are just so much more interesting than Origins was, and the setting like the setting is much more like that was my big problem. I didn't really I found the setting of Origins pretty boring, of like where you were and stuff like that. I mean, it was cool seeing like the pyramids and like I really loved the beginning of the game, like when you were kind of like underground in those like chambers of the pyramid. Like if it stayed like almost more like a Tomb Raider game the whole time, I probably would have absolutely loved that.
Oh, those
game.
are everywhere. Those
Yeah, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, like if it was just that, I would love that game. But yeah, like the like once you're out and about like in the worlds, and it was just like a lot of desert and just nothingness, and like I don't know, I just that setting just didn't really do it for me. But I really like the setting of Odyssey, so that's one of those games that I need to go back and like actually start to get a little bit more into here. So
yeah, Odyssey is up there with Breath of the Wild as like some like favorite games of like all time, literally.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but it's up there. So if it was on Switch, I would have had it beaten twice by now.
At least you're that answer for you. Like, you know, most people would probably agree with. Whereas for me, like right up there with Breath of the Wild, I'd say that Far Cry 5 was like that for me. I just absolutely loved Far Cry 5.
Wow.
Oh my God, that game was just so much fun for me.
You're not really the first person I've heard say that about 5. I feel like, I don't know.
I feel like that there's a it's kind of one of those games like I don't know, where either you absolutely love that game or you just don't care about it. Like I feel like that's been kind of the way a lot of people have looked at that game.
Yeah, I feel like there was like
they absolutely love it.
I feel like everybody hit this, like 3 is like the pinnacle of Far Cry. I feel like everybody loves 3, and then there's like this fork in the road where some people like kind of like 4 and some people kind of don't, and then it just gets wider and wider as the numbers get higher. They just go, it's like the
Honestly, that's true. Yeah.
It's like that Fast and the Furious scene where Vin Diesel and Paul Walker kind of split off. Rip Paul Walker.
Too soon.
So, but yeah, I've been playing that. I've also that's it. That's all I've been playing on Xbox.
I kind of want to go back and play Odyssey again now, though.
I know. Odyssey's really good.
Next time you guys see it on sale, let me know and I'll get it. I don't
absolutely.
have it. I could have sworn that I did, but I don't have it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do recommend spending the extra $10 for the XP boost though, because
you don't need it.
It makes it a much more enjoyable experience. But for me, it does.
Win.
It's a time saver.
I'm a parent. I will pay the amount that makes me feel like I've completed the most in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah,
and I'm not proud of that statement. No. That's where I'm at now.
He's the guy that spends the $100 on the Destiny Battle Pass and is like, "Yeah, I completed it the first day." Got it all.
Yeah. Although I can't complain. I'm the person who spends the money to unlock everything in Battlefield games because I don't want to put the time in to unlock everything.
Oh man! All right, let's get into our topics here. Topics of the week: Halo Infinite. A lot of Halo hirings, which makes me think that if this game was coming out this fall,
2021,
I was like, oh boy, this. So Joseph Staten is returning to the Halo franchise to help with the single player. Also, Certain Affinity has signed on in some capacity, although I'm not 100% sure in what capacity, but I'm sure it's to help with multiplayer because that's kind of their specialty stuff. This is kind of a big deal for a game that was supposed to come out in 2 months, making me think that this is probably not going to come out until next holiday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hope not.
Joe,
that's my guess. That's my guess.
You're the Halo guy here. Yeah. The Halo guy. All caps, the Halo
guy. So, I mean, like, part of the thing is, like, in reality, not even since Bungie, since, like, Halo 2, both Joseph and Certain Affinity have, like, been involved in Halo in some way or another. It's actually more surprising that they haven't been involved until now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have just kind of, because Joseph, he's already at Microsoft. Like, I would have assumed that he probably would have just been in there. And Certain Affinity makes sense because they were working on even Master Chief Collection. So all this makes sense. it's surprising that it took this long and that there was an announcement about it, which again doesn't make me nervous in the state of the game. It makes me nervous in the release date.
Yeah.
Because if this is a holiday, like a year later holiday, like it's fine I want the best game possible.
Mm-hmm.
But like we all kind of games anymore, like that come out that have like long legs, like long lifespans that are like a game as a service. Like, I don't know, get it to me so I can start playing it and you can get like real feedback before we start we keep changing directions potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it's like you don't like even know how the community is going to receive what you sent out. Like, yeah, they reacted to a demo, but the Halo community is pretty split. Like, some people want Halo CE as their game. Some people want Halo 2. Some people want Halo 3. Like, no one's going to come across and be like, hey, this is the Halo game that we want. Can you guys build that for us?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It makes me nervous about the release date more than anything. I think it makes sense to have both of them involved. They're both very familiar with the franchise. I think Joseph being involved is definitely going to get some of that Halo. Probably, like, I would imagine he's going to bring a lot of one-liners and some of that comedic timing. Even when he left Destiny, kind of the comedy left Destiny. So I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like they're both good things. I just really hate to think about how long it's going to take, even to get these people caught up to speed before they can actually start helping. Like, how long does that take?
I mean, especially since like the COVID thing is everybody's working from home. Like, it's
and
going to take them like
holidays.
It's going to take them like a month to get caught up. I feel like, at least, just to make like play test some stuff, get acquainted with the team, like the different teams, like, you know what I mean? Like, even the gameplay teams and I mean, I don't really think you need to hit the art team as much, but just to be like, look, let me play the sandbox for like a week and a half and let me see what's happening.
Yes.
Let me take a look at like what you've built. Like this, I'm sure Halo Infinite's campaign's not going to be short, you know, like if it's in a playable state, like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't coming out till next holiday. At least I feel like.
Breaks my heart. I hope Certain Affinity is working on some classic Halo maps in it. I think that's if I were to make a guess, they have to be designing maps. But that's a guess.
Yeah.
Like Blood Gulch or whatever
they're just
to make a big appearance.
They're just giving you the Master Chief Collection multiplayer and the Halo Infinite engine, all those maps.
If a version of Blood Gulch is not in this spiritual reboot of Halo, I would say there's a problem.
They need Blood Gulch. They need Hang 'em High. They need
Hang 'em High.
They need Beaver Creek, and they need what was the other?
Chill Out.
Yeah. What was the one with like it's like the 5-story building on each side?
Oh,
in
Midship.
Halo 1.
Oh, yeah. Midship.
Or no, it's not Midship.
Is it Valhalla?
No.
That's not a 5-star circle. I liked the Valhalla map.
Also, we need Wizard Rockets, please. Thanks. That's all we need.
Dude, you know, the thing is like, I absolutely, outside of the story,
Boarding
Halo
action.
5.
Boarding action, yes.
I literally have my table of contents of every Halo map.
Of course he
There
does.
you go.
Look at him.
Heck yeah.
I love this. This is why he's here.
Yeah, he's gonna fit in great because I want to get back to like playing all the Halos over again, like the story, because like ultimately, like, Halo is my favorite franchise of Xbox. Like, I like playing Gears, like the campaigns, but then once I'm done with the campaigns, that's it. I don't really play it anymore because I'm not great at this and competitive enough really to play the multiplayer. I mean, every once in a while I'll play it, but yeah, like Halo has always been like, that was where I started like really getting into the competition of like first person shooters, and then eventually played Call of Duty quite a bit too, but like Halo was, always the thing, going to friends' house, doing LAN parties and, and stuff like that. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like I was saying, like other than the story, like I absolutely loved Halo 5, but all they needed was just to have a better story. And if we can get something like what Halo 5 was, but yet like have it just really blow us away and do the open world thing that they're doing, but have a really good story going along with it, I will be the happiest person in the world. Like I liked like how the guns and things looked in 5, and just everything kind of like having that, like I felt like things that had like lights on them and stuff just really looked popped out really nice, and things just looked really good. And yeah, unfortunately, like that we didn't quite see a lot of that in the that demo, and I'm glad that they're gonna take their time and hopefully make it a better game and take the steps that they need to do that. And yeah, it's a bummer that might mean that it won't come out until the end of next year, but I guess I'd rather that than them just pump something out just so they can say that they did, like
yeah.
Yes.
I mean
this is in a lot of people's mind. I mean, not necessarily to me, because I just don't feel like games work this way, but this is a make or break title for Halo in particular.
Yeah. I don't think it's so much a make or break for Halo. I think it's make or break for 343. Like if they don't pull it off, I think a lot of people ask that someone else take over and do the game. Someone else do the game.
I would love to see like, not that like 343 is doing a bad job, because I really actually loved Halo 4. I think Halo 4 is like really underrated, but I would really like to see someone like, I know it wouldn't happen, but like Respawn take Halo on and see what they could do with it or something.
I know that's my like my dream scenario.
But that's the thing though with Xbox, is like they built these, like they have 3 studios that they built those studios for specific games. Like the Coalition was built for Gears. Now working in a 3D action game is like, you can transition to that into anything else afterward, right? Like I think the rumor now is like they actually might be working on a Perfect Dark game outside of Gears. Like they've split into, I think they have 2 teams plus like a small team that's been working with the Gears Tactics, who Splash Damage I think did Gears Tactics. So they have that small team that works in there, like works with other studios, but like that second team could be working on Perfect Dark, which I said that Perfect Dark would be awesome in a third person kind of Splinter Cell-y, Metal Gear-y style system. So like I think that switching from Gears to something else is easier than switching from Halo to something different, and that's, I think 343 is just stuck because that's who they are,
Yeah.
Well, and not to mention it's always difficult when you've got like basically it's Xbox's Star Wars, right? Like like people are going to judge it so violently. Like like any little slip up is going to be amplified just that much more, unfortunately, when you're dealing with something like that. And and it is a bummer. Like I mean, we need people to want to push them to do the greatest that they can possibly do with those things. But but sometimes we like, and I think people are doing a pretty good job of just kind of being like, okay, like we don't we're not taking any offense or being upset with you taking time to do this. I feel like the majority of what I've heard people say is like people are just glad that they're gonna take the time to do it and not just rush everything and just completely fumble the ball and just leave it that way. Like I mean, there was a lot of issues with Master Chief Collection and stuff like that, but they really pulled that around and made it into something just incredible. So yeah, I mean, like maybe this is them, their chance to do what they did with the Master Chief Collection. It's just we're not seeing the product that it was to release with. We're gonna hopefully get the amazing product that Master Chief became. So
Yeah.
like that's all we can really do, honestly, is just hope that they know what they're doing, and with this help from old guard will hopefully help sprinkle in some of that old magic into it, and we'll end up getting an amazing game that we're glad they delayed.
Yeah.
So.
Will, you have any thoughts? And you've been kind of quiet here. Yep.
I'm not the Halo guy. I'm not going to be getting Halo regardless, so that's all you guys.
We should play through the Halo CE once. It's a pretty quick playthrough.
I've played all of them up to 4.
Oh, so you just genuinely don't like it?
I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I just after 4, I was just like, I just felt done with Halo.
Fatigued. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I would gladly.
I
would
enjoyed
gladly.
the story. I enjoyed the story up through 4, but after that, I just lost it.
Yeah.
I would
It
gladly
happens.
play through all the Halo games again. I know we did it for our Let's Play show, Squad Goals, a while ago. We played through 3, 4, and 5, but
Yeah, but we need to play 1, 2, and
Reach and ODST.
Yeah, Reach and
there's a lot.
ODST. We haven't finished Reach. I haven't actually finished Reach. That's still the only game I haven't played
that's
all the
a
way
bummer.
through.
Yeah, Reach is the only one that I haven't finished also. But I think it was out of
Let's
time
do it.
though, because
Well, we started it. We've started playing through it. We started with Ed, but we kind of just never got a chance to get back to it. So with Reach, because remember we started Reach, the beginning of it,
Yeah.
or it was me and you started it, and then I think, or no,
No, it was all three of us.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. But yeah, 'cause,
Yeah. Well. All right. So speaking of a game that I don't think any of us are getting, the Avengers. Cool. $60
Nope.
free characters, right?
Nope.
All the characters are free, right? All the characters are free. You get to play the game for $60 out the door. You get to play as all the characters for free. The catch is every single character. Every character is getting their own $10 battle pass every season, quote unquote season.
Yeah.
This is not great. I don't think. I don't know.
Is it even the OG characters that are at launch? I thought that they said it wasn't going to be for them.
Yeah, it's Tony Stark, Hulk, like the core whatever it
Right.
was that we saw in the demo. Those
Just
ones,
every
other one
hero
will have
from
this.
then. Correct. Right.
It's still a lot though.
So
Yeah.
'Cause if
they've
you look at the
also
list-
said that not that this is okay, but like I guess the fictional currency that you buy with real money to unlock the season pass costs like 1,000. Let's call them Disney dollars.
I like it.
It
Shield
costs like
bucks.
1,000 Disney. If you complete that season pass, you get that 1,000 Disney dollars back, and then you can use it to unlock another character season pass. If you want to waste all of your time completing every season pass, technically you could buy one
Mm-hmm.
and then unlock everything, and then you get like that 1,000 back.
Right.
Like I guess that's their way to keep you playing.
Fortnite
Which-
does that though. I think.
which and that sounds great on
It
paper. Well, I mean, it's the idea of being able to get your money back sounds great, but
I can't
a
spend
lot of
those
the
Disney
time,
dollars.
These games make it where you have to spend ungodly amounts of time playing it in order to be able to get it back. In some games cases, it's like almost nearly impossible to get all of your money back. Like the amount of time you have to put in. What is it? I forget what it's a piece. One of the PC games, or they have like some kind of battle pass type thing, but like it's literally impossible to unlock everything in the battle pass. like no one would literally be able to do it. You don't have enough time to finish it in the amount of time you have to get everything.
when I was reading the breakdown of like how the season pass works and the costs and the add-ons and the skins that you can buy that are separate from the battle pass,
Yeah.
I literally turned into that meme with all like the math symbols around my head. I was just like, and like math is probably like my best subject. And I was reading it and I was like, this is not easy for me to understand as an adult that uses math almost every day, let alone a kid that has their parents' credit card attached to their machine or whatever it is. Like, it's just not, it's not user friendly. And that kind of adds another layer on top of like my skepticism of the Avengers game, which sucks.
Oh man, this just makes those the DC games that are coming that much more appealing to me. Like I like some of the Marvel characters. Like I really like Captain America, and I like what they did with Thor in the movies and stuff. Like I'm not a huge comic book guy, but like I'll watch the movies. Like Disney Plus, man, caught me up on so much. I was like, okay, this is nice. But it's just when it comes to stuff like this, it's just like, and then like DC fandom we talked a little bit about last week. Like Gotham Knights just looks like the game that I want the Avengers to be. You know?
Yeah.
A single player kind of open worldish, expansive story where I can swap between the characters at my leisure and, you know, upgrade them when I want to and that kind of thing. It's just like, that's what I would have liked this to be, and it's just not turning out that way at all.
Yeah.
So, this game, when they first revealed it, it was in trouble, and now like nothing good has been coming from this game. Even the beta, it's like, what they say, 6 million people downloaded the beta, but it's like it's across 3 platforms, dude.
But also, how many of those 6 million people returned their pre-order like I did when I was like, oh, I and it never happens. Like where I'm like, I will return this pre-order, please. Like, it was just like instantly, I was like not interested.
I just waited till the open beta on Xbox and was like, I played through that opening section where you play as all the characters. I hated the Black Widow section where you fight Taskmaster, by the way. Like when he was flying and you had to like dodge and shoot, I'm like, this is
it's so repetitive.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I played through that opening section. I think I got through the part where you fight Abomination. And I think we talked a little bit about this last week where like there's more strategy in Mario 64 where you have to get behind Bowser and throw him at the bomb than to fight Abomination. Like it was not fun. Like it wasn't fun.
Yeah. Well, so like, cause I never really got to experience the beta or anything.
You're not missing much. It's fine.
Yeah. But like, they talked about it on Giant Bomb, and like one of the things that they really complained about is they said like a lot of times like there'd be things that you have to do to activate like a door or something, but those things would just like totally blend into the world, and they weren't illuminated, so you knew where the thing was that you needed to do to continue. I mean, that's just like game 101. You need to know what, like if you got a thing that's going to open a door that's like part of the game and you can't even see it because there's nothing to tell you where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. Like that's insane to me that they would overlook something so simple.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when I was hearing that, I was just like, holy cow, man.
Yeah, it's not looking great for this game, although it does say Avengers on the box, so it'll probably sell.
Unfortunately.
We'll see, I guess.
And, you can play as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
If you have a PlayStation.
Only on PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. Which, that was like another one of those things. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I think they would have been better off, like, saying, okay, well, yeah, like, everyone can have Spider-Man, but only the PlayStation version gets the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Like, help pump up your game that you have coming out. I mean, like, in my opinion, that was a completely blown, like, opportunity for them.
Yeah, well, everything I've seen is, like, PlayStation. I guess PlayStation is buying up a whole bunch of exclusive stuff, like for next gen, like just timed exclusives or exclusives outright from third parties, and because I mean Xbox is really trying to sell the Game Pass on people, and that'll get people into the ecosystem and buy more games, yada yada. Like if Sony's buying those games away from Microsoft, you know, that's what they're fighting with. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think that Spider-Man thing it hurts them too, you know.
Yeah,
but especially because I think a lot of people wanted to play this game on PC because it would run better theoretically.
Yeah,
and now they're like, well, I guess I'll get it on PlayStation because whatever. So or just not get it at all.
Not get it at all. Yep.
I think you know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think that's gonna honestly be a lot of people. You know, like you said, a lot of people that see Avengers are just gonna think, you know, hey. Although, you know, like I kind of I was talking a little bit with Kyle from a podcast that I listened to, you know, like I know he's like a massive Avengers fan, and you know, and I had messaged him about it, and he, you know, I wasn't sure, but I was like, if anyone, he might be one of those people that just gets it, but he was just like, no, he's like, I'm gonna wait. It just, you know, he just is like, even him as someone who doesn't pay a lot of attention to like the video game world and everything that's going on, he seemed to just be like, yeah, no, it doesn't sound like a good thing right now, so he's not going to even bother with it, he said. So, and he's a PlayStation guy, he loves Spider-Man, so if he's not even going to get it, then I was just like, wow, yeah, might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
It's going to be in GameStop's $10 bin in like a year.
Yeah.
Or they could just do what Destiny did and make the base game free, and then you buy
it free.
There you go.
Yeah.
If the base game was free and then they did this $10 per character thing, fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Our last topic here. We'll just kind of go through this quickly because we do have a question to answer. Gamescom happened this weekend, sort of online with Jeff Keighley and IGN and apparently various other places, even though it was exclusive to everywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a list of games here that are relevant to the Xbox audience. There's a lot more than this, but I just want to know what you guys were, if what you watched, anything was exciting. I didn't really care for a lot of the things that were shown. I mean, the most exciting thing I think was the Destiny Beyond Light Stasis Power trailer for me, because those powers they look game breaking almost. You know, people are going to be breaking games with those platforms that you can build and everything. Like it's just going to go nuts with that. But what did you guys think was exciting from Gamescom? Like I said, I thought speaking of the Avengers real quick, that Avengers launch trailer was really cool. And then too bad the game just is going to suck, because that trailer was really cool. Because you got that first movie moment where they're all kind of in the city, just like in the circles around, and you see Kamala Khan come down with her stretchy hands, and like it's just. Anyways, sorry. So, what are you guys excited for from this Gamescom stuff?
I still did not get to watch it, so I was going to, but then like literally we stopped recording yesterday, and I got hardcore put to work, like, because we had a lot going on. We were like literally rearranging our entire house, and I also found out today that my nephew is gonna be who just graduated college is going to be moving in with us, so
good.
So, because he lives in Upper Michigan, so it's like a 4-hour drive from there to here, but he's going to come here in the big city and get a job. So
the big city of Appleton.
Yeah. Well, it's bigger than where he's from. So
Appleton.
Michigan. Yeah,
that's a Pokemon.
Appleton. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'm
Ed.
surprised they don't.
Oh man. Sometimes I feel bad when we like Ed's not here and we still make fun of him because he's not here because somebody says something about Nintendo. And I know he's
sometimes-
listening to this right now. So, hi, Ed. Sorry. We love you. See you tomorrow on Pow Block.
And sometimes I feel bad when we even just tease them on the show because I don't,
Yeah.
you never know, like if new people are listening, if they, it's, but that's just us. They like to fool around, and Ed gives me a hard time about things, or me and him just like to have like our full on arguments for like 3 hours about like one topic.
Yeah.
It's fun though. And we laugh about it at the end.
Yeah. You guys excited for anything from Gamescom, Willow or Joe? I mean, I didn't really watch any of it, to be honest with you. I just didn't know if anybody wanted to talk Gamescom or not.
I'm excited about 12 minutes. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
A
lot of talent attached to that game.
Yeah.
It's one of those neat. I feel like I can do like bite-sized versions of that game if I have if I have 12 minutes. I can play through like one real quick and see if I can figure something out. Crash Bandicoot actually looks pretty great. I think they're doing a lot of really cool stuff with it. And Star Wars Squadrons. So clearly, flying any ship from the Star Wars universe and fighting other ships is going to be a good time. When they try to like inject like a hard story into it and like having people talk to you with clearly like it's not interactive, they're like, you need to go out there and solve it. Like I don't think I'm going to feel that. But the thing that makes me most nervous about that game, and this is big for me personally, is that the music sounds horrendous, just like every other Star Wars flight game that's ever existed. It's like they take all the classic Star Wars music you love and play it on the shittiest keyboard imaginable.
Yeah.
And part of me wants to say, well, clearly they're not going to use that music in the game, but why wouldn't they put the music that they actually have? Because it's already owned by Disney. It's clearly not a licensing issue. I think the music is going to be distractingly horrible. If you go watch that trailer, just keep your ear out on that music, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening with that score? It sounds exactly like a Nintendo 64 score of a Star Wars game, but I would say that even like those games sounded better.
Oh, so they lifted the track out of Rogue Squadron and just popped it in.
It does sound like Rogue Squadron, like that. Like it's just like it's someone that knows like how to read sheet music and play a keyboard, and they're like, okay, orchestra, and I'm gonna play Star Wars now. It's just like it doesn't have any emotion or feeling behind it. I'm sure the game's great. Like I'm sure the gameplay will be fine, but
Just give us Spotify integration.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you just have to replace the music, and it's $40.
Put some
so
Slayer
it's
in
not
there
60.
or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Fly around a Slayer.
Are you gonna buy one of them fancy flight sticks for this?
I'm going to for Flight Simulator, I think, but then that will just be
What you
and see it's something that I can use for that later too.
Willow, anything?
So obviously Destiny. I also was really excited about the Dragon Age little tease we got. I'm not a big fan of Dragon Age. Huh?
I'm not a big fan of Dragon Age, but the stuff they showed from that was cool.
So I really like. I didn't really get into Dragon Age until Inquisition. So I joined the party really late. The Inquisition was so good. I loved that game. So seeing a new Dragon Age introduced and seeing them talk about it was really cool. The concept of like what does your hero do when they don't have the powers that and stuff like that. I think it'll be a really cool story with some cool stuff. I also like Star Wars. Then there's Assassin's Creed, Lord of the Rings. It's weird that you have such a lore rich universe and you choose Gollum to make a game out of. But we'll see. I mean that was really it. 12 minutes looked cool. Age of Empires looked pretty cool. Don't really care about much of the other stuff really, but
yeah, I'm kind of with you there. There wasn't a lot there that I really cared about. And the more I watch of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the more I'm like not excited for it.
It honestly, from what I've seen, it looks straight up like just an Odyssey reskin.
No, it looks like an Origins reskin, which is what scares me because like just the way that Ivor moves is definitely the way that Bayek moves. Because like I feel like the thing I like about Odyssey is like Cassandra feels really agile and you can pretty much move the way you expect her to move, whereas in Origins and like even some of the older Assassin's Creed games, the character just feels like a tank and like I want to move right, but like you have to like wait for him to turn right instead of just like going right. You know what I mean? Like it just feels kind of heavy and tanky. And the more I watch of this, the more I'm like, man, this is going to feel a lot like Origins because it's the Origins team. And I'm just like, I really hope that they've like this movement feels how I want it to feel, or I'm just not going to like it because I've been playing so much Odyssey that I'm like, I expect Assassin's Creed to now play like Odyssey all the time, regardless of who's making it. And I'm afraid it's not going to feel like that. And it's just kind of like the more I watch, the more I'm like, he looks heavy. He looks like he's moving real slow. He looks like, stressing me out, man.
I mean, in his defense, I would say he's a bigger assassin than what we're accustomed to.
I know, but you can switch to the female version, and I want the female version to feel like Cassandra.
Well, maybe the Viking culture doesn't take pride in being agile.
They should. That's why they lost. That's why nobody knows where they went. And that's why their boats have really weird heads on them. And
yeah, but Odin is with them, so it's okay.
That's fair.
Now Norwegian people in Norway are like some of the most like laid back, easygoing people. Like.
All right, we're gonna move on to this question here. You can email us at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com or tweet at us either through Boss Rush Podcast or Arsenal X Podcast. You can tweet at either of those to ask us your question. Greg Osterman III writes in. He says, he's been writing in for a while, actually. What are some games this fall that you're looking forward to? It seems more and more the games I'm looking forward to are getting delayed, including new rumors surrounding Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So give me some ideas so I don't feel like I'm going to jump on the Series X too early. Throwing up the X because your show fucking rocks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for telling us our show is great. I don't really know what I'm excited for. I'm excited for Destiny at 60 frames a second. Even though technically on PC I could do that now, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Oh my gosh, dude! Willow jumped on last night. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I don't even know."
It was rough. It was rough.
I don't know the buttons.
It was rough. I didn't remember what button was like shoulder charge. But we got there.
But what games are you guys excited for this fall?
Cyberpunk.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, like as far as like things that I'm looking forward to that will be for Series X, like I'm just looking forward to it because I don't really like in the beginning before we started the show, I hate PCs. I just hate having to use them all the time because I don't know, I just always have problems with them. But but all joking aside, like I just am always been plug and play. I mean, when I was younger, I used to play on PC quite a bit. Actually, I was a PC gamer for the longest time. In between, the Genesis and like in the early days of PC gaming, but the thing is, like, for me, I'm just really looking forward to being able to play, hopefully Flight Simulator that, just works on console. And I'm looking forward to finally getting to play Gears Tactics. And, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just looking forward to being able to play at, 120 frames per second if I wanted to, I mean, I just being able to, have that kind of the best experience of some of those games that may be, at that time, a month or two old already, but just we haven't had on console. I'm looking forward to those kind of things. And then, yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk, all those games, once once those games are patched for the new consoles and we kind of get the, get hopefully like all the bells and whistles added to it. Like I'm looking forward to that stuff. But like for me, it's definitely Cyberpunk though that I'm super excited for. Witcher 3 was an amazing game. It wasn't exactly for me per se. But like I'm like anyone who knows me, I am all sci-fi like all the time. I just love sci-fi stuff. And so like that game is going to be by far the one that I'll focus on when it comes to games that are gonna take a lot of time and effort to be able to finish. Like that is going to be my game. So but I definitely cannot wait to play like Gears Tactics and Flight Simulator, and things like that as well. So
yeah, Gears Tactics is amazing.
Looks so awesome.
It is.
I can't wait.
It's
just want it now.
Oh, it's so good. I don't like playing it on PC. I want to play it on my couch in the other room. But
same. Yeah.
What about you guys? What are you guys excited for?
So, I would say, if I can speak directly to Greg, I think you should be excited for the console itself. And this is coming from someone who is still getting an Xbox Series X at launch.
Yeah.
Even though I lost my main focus behind why.
Yeah.
This year. And I think it's because I'm excited for everything else that it brings. I'm excited to play Destiny at 60 frames a second. I'm excited to have the resume features. So when I play games, I also like my bags are packed and I'm ready to move on. Like, so when I buy a game, I don't want to have to worry about if I buy Call of Duty, I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, do I spend an extra $10 and have both? Like, no, like I'm just going to get it on the next gen version when it comes out. So I don't have to make that decision, even with smart delivery available. Whenever it comes to like a game that's like when it gets a patch to look better, I just want to be able to download the patch and then not have to worry about moving and transitioning from one console to another. So I can't pinpoint a game anymore that I'm excited about specifically, other than I'm excited that the Series X is going to bring all that console. Like I'm just going to move from one console to another, and I don't have to worry about making that decision ever again. Like it's just like I'm moved. If they have a patch that updates it and makes it better, awesome. I can play it in the best version possible, and if not, I'm already moved in. So I would say at this point, it looks like because every game that's coming out is there a great exclusive Xbox game coming out at launch that's not like also on the Xbox One X and also like multi-platform?
I think Gears Tactics is really the only one that they're positioning at launch, at least. But it's already on PC. A lot of people point that out, but also I know a lot of people aren't like. There's a lot of people that just want to buy the Xbox and not worry about PC stuff,
Yep.
So, but I also think that that's coming to Xbox One X. But so was Halo. So I mean,
we'll see.
You gotta. That's the thing about Xbox is like, at first I was like all about it, but now I'm just kind of like, they should just cut the thing, just cut it. Just cut the Xbox One when the Series X launches. Just cut it off at that point. I don't know.
I mean, I think for newer games, they probably, I would be fine with them doing that. But something like Gears Tactics, obviously that was made a while back, a little bit ago now. And I can see why they would, eventually bring that to just Xbox One and stuff as well. I think that's the thing. Is I think a lot of the games actually that maybe are gonna be a little bit more than the old Xbox can handle, I don't think are going to come over to it. I don't think it's gonna be as many games as we were thinking.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of been I don't know. There hasn't been much of, and some of the stuff that they showed, the newer stuff that they showed, there hasn't been a whole like coming to Xbox One as well, kind of thing going on with some of those. Like I know for sure, like the Medium, that I'm looking forward to that game too. That's another one that I'm really looking forward to. That one I don't think is going to be on Xbox One.
Yeah. Neither is the Ascent, which is supposed to be that kind of top-down cyberpunk Diablo-esque type thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's the thing. It's so weird. This is just such a weird year. Like just in every aspect of it. Like this is just a really crazy year. And like, yeah, it's like you don't know what to expect right now. Like with either consoles. Like we kind of talked on Boss Rush about like how like PlayStation did the whole, you can possibly, get a reserve a PS5 or whatever, but we can't guarantee kind of thing. And it's been weird. We don't know if people are even gonna buy these consoles like as much as we normally would expect people to. Yeah. There's a lot of people just can't afford it. Like who, have been out of work for how many months? Yeah. I don't know. It's just a crazy year to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm with Joe on this. Like, just be excited for what the box can do for, the games that you would naturally buy on Xbox One, right? Like, you don't have to. Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. We know that, but some of these other companies are being real shady about how they're doing it, or if they're doing it at all. Like EA was questionable at this up until like 2 or 3 days ago, of like, yeah, we're doing player entitlement, I think is what they're calling it.
You can never trust EA though.
I know. Well, like that's the thing is like Madden on the box doesn't even say optimized for Series X. It says Series X on the box, but it doesn't say optimized. So that people who buy physical copies of Madden are like, are we getting the next copy? And it turns out like only the digital versions are getting the optimized version, and it's like, come on, guys, this is just.
That game.
I mean, it's going to be the same game as last year. I mean, yeah, you're going to get a couple extra sweat droplets on the face, and that's it.
I mean, look, I haven't purchased Madden in so long. I used to be one of those people who bought it every year and played it like crazy, and then it started sucking, and I'm like, I'm not supporting this crappy game. And then I waited for it to come out on EA Access. I played 10 games online, and the lag was just terrible, and I have great internet, and I just was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Last one I bought was 07. That was the last Madden I bought.
Like I said, if I want to play football, I fire up my Dreamcast. I put in NFL 2K2. I play that because it's better than anything that's come out for Madden lately. Still, like I'd rather play that. And people need to start not buying that game and saying, hey, like making NFL think, hey, maybe we better open this back up full on again and have, competition between these games, because what's working or what's happening right now is not working. They don't have any reason to try to make it better, and so they're not. Like they just really do not seem to care. Like, I mean, dude, I heard what the story mode, like the base around the whole story is for this new game, is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like seriously, it's like
They hit really good on that first time they did Long Shot, I think it was called. Like that first one was like pretty good, and then they tried to capitalize on it 3 years in a row, and it was just it wasn't as good anywhere.
So. Well, in this one, it's like the dude like has a heart problem, and so they don't want him to play as quarterback or whatever.
Well, maybe he shouldn't be playing football if you have a heart condition.
But get this. So you play as the character that takes his position, right? But then he gets put on like another team or he like somehow you're competing against one another in college, but now he gets put in a different position. It's like, okay, if he couldn't play quarterback because of his heart condition,
Quarterback's like the
then
least.
why are you putting him somewhere else?
Quarterback, as someone who played football, like quarterback is like the position that needs to be the least conditioned. Like
Yeah.
you just like
Whoa,
No
what about
offense.
kickers?
no offense to no, they gotta
Snapper, the
they
long
gotta have
snapper.
those, they gotta have them quick legs, they gotta have their legs conditioned, man. I don't know. Madden's a big joke to me. I
You
don't
know,
even,
maybe that guy, maybe his heart condition was he had a broken heart.
I feel like they used heart condition because it's the least offensive and the one condition that everyone's gonna be like, oh, well, it's a heart condition. Yeah, we can't say anything.
Yeah, he was. It's the real.
We all know
story.
it was a broken heart he was suffering from.
Unless
That's the real
Madden
story of
includes
Manti
some sort
Te'o.
of murder mystery, I'm not gonna play any of them.
It's the real story of Manti Te'o. His heart was broken because he got catfished.
Exactly. And now you have to go in and replace him.
oh
I
gosh.
will play the catfish version of that game. I want to catfish NFL players. That's how I play.
It's a clicking.
The Monty Te'o DLC.
Wow.
I don't know anything about football, but I know that.
Oh, that's funny.
Man.
Yeah, it's just like, man, why?
But
It's almost-
2K's gonna be able to make football again though. I'm pretty sure in 2021.
Yeah,
It can't be simulation football.
Yeah,
though.
but it's gonna be spelled with a U.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Football.
Yeah,
umlaut.
yeah.
Remember NFL Street? Oh, that was a good game.
Supposedly that mode's in there.
Yeah, it is. It's
Ooh.
in Madden. Like it's just like a tacked on, like completely just weird add on to the game, like
Yeah.
a mode. Yeah,
Dang.
that game, man. Like the more and more I hear about it, it's just like why did you even bother like with the story stuff? Like it's just not. It's not an interesting story, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Man.
fun.
So,
This-
Greg, don't buy it for Madden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't buy it
definitely
for
not.
Madden.
Don't
Right,
make
buy it
Madden-
for NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Which
Joe.
I
Man, I just I'm like almost on the fence of like not even getting it this year because like I mean the only reason I'm going to get it is because of Destiny at 60 frames at this point, and like maybe a Gears Tactics launch console version, and that's kind of it, and like the best version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla. But if that's delayed, then I mean, like I have time to play all three of those games at the same time anyway. But
All right.
you know, I just
That's why you
yeah.
need it though, so you can have one on your Xbox and one on your Xbox Series X, and you can play.
There you
two
go.
at a time.
There you go.
and play tactics on your PC at the same time.
There you go.
Whoa,
We just saved you
Future.
66% of your time. You're welcome.
that's fair. You know what? It's good call, guys. Good
That
call.
math checks out.
Yeah, and if you add
Yeah,
all
he's
the
good at math,
frames per
remember.
second,
Yeah, he is
I
good
said
at
it
math.
earlier, so it's true.
No, haven't seen him do any math on the show, but he knows math. So
I do this.
Well,
Yeah, see,
Well-
he's carrying over the numbers over there. I saw it.
well, if you added all the frames per second up of all three
Right.
games all at once, how many frames per second?
Minus the teraflops.
Pi.
well,
Quadratic formula.
squared.
Nice.
one of the other things like too, like I was thinking of that I'm kind of looking forward to, that we probably won't get a whole lot of like, you know, like of seeing exactly what, you know, what this technology can do right off the bat, but like the whole like computer learning and stuff that they have in the new Xbox that they're going to be kind of like taking advantage of, that's like something that I don't believe the PS5 is going to have, as far as like, you know, that those kind of things. You know, there's little things like that I feel like the PS5 isn't gonna quite do, that they've kind of got going on. And you know, I've said it multiple times, honestly, I think to date the most next gen thing that's happening is what we're seeing in Flight Simulator. Like, I mean, just the like streaming like live data into a game, and
even
like,
the real-time weather patterns that they're showing with like the hurricane that just happened.
Yeah, I watched when the first couple of weeks ago, or I think it was the beginning of the month, when that one hurricane was coming through. They're like, I watched someone who's going and like literally turned all the settings for the weather all the way up, and then like they were just a bunch of people are just flying over into the hurricane and like where that hurricane was, and just seeing how the weather was affected in those areas by that, and trying to fly through it and see if they could survive it and stuff like that. And like, I mean, obviously like the hurricane has been all that kind of stuff that's been going on has been pretty devastating, but at the same time it is neat though that we have a game that can literally like real time simulate stuff like that, like, and put it in the game, and you can like literally experience it real time. Like,
yeah. Did you watch the Major Nelson's kind of stream where he like flew over Disney World, and it was like, oh well, I've been there 1,000 times and now I can see it virtually from a plane.
I did not see that. But
by the way, where's my Disney World Roller Coaster Tycoon ripoff?
Well, when's
$10
that?
with the battle pass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's free to play, but you got to pay $50 to
play it.
Yeah. Right. Well, what's the roller coaster game that's supposed to be coming out
Planet
soon?
Coaster.
Yeah, Planet Coaster. Like that one's basically.
I can't wait because I have it on PC and I hate the mouse controls. So
yeah, that one looks amazing. Like honestly, like
although I did download a Disney World mod for it, and
Did you?
It's amazing how real it is. Like it's like
nice.
It's the greatest thing I've ever downloaded, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the next step that consoles need to start taking a bigger step on, is the allowing for like mods and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. As far as the console goes, like I said, I think there's gonna be some really cool, unique things that, unless you're like got a massive, like super expensive PC, there's things you're not really going to be able to experience. Yeah.
I mean, I know we've been running along, but I wonder how that machine learning and that like AI, artificial intelligence stuff is going to work in games like State of Decay or Forza, or how maybe the drivers are going to learn how you drive, and they're going to try to. I don't know how racing works, but like State of Decay, like maybe the environment changes depending on how you play or whatever. You know what I mean? Like maybe that kind of stuff fits into it. So
yeah. I think there's a couple of things, like little things like that I think are kind of no one's really focused on yet because they really haven't talked too much about it. That I think could ultimately be something that blows people away, like that ends up being a very interesting part of owning the new the Series X, and just having those experiences like that you won't be able to get, I don't think, from the PS5. So
yeah. Well, anybody else want to say anything before we wrap it up?
Titan Master Race.
Yes, I agree with
I'll
that.
concur with that.
I can.
Except I feel like we got gypped on the Stasis Super, but it's whatever.
I know, it's another roaming super.
They need the help.
It's a reskin Fist of Havoc. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. We'll get one. We got
but now
the
your
hammers,
teammates
though.
can kill themselves with it too, so it's not good.
I'm all about those Titans.
Heck yeah.
Titan.
Wait a second. Wait a second. We're
No,
all Titans.
Jesse's a warlock. Don't let him lie to
I'm a
you.
warlock.
Ah,
I'm a pilot.
oh,
I love
man.
Titan. but I like Titanfall. I like Titanfall Titans. Or the Teen Titans.
Gosh. Okay. Well, anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching. You can catch us live here on Sunday nights for Arsenal X on twitch.tv/BossRushGames Live. You can also catch the show on Tuesday mornings on your podcast service of choice, on our YouTube channel, and on the newly revamped BossRushGames.com.
Woo!
Is there anything else we need to plug? I don't think so. So, Willow, where can we find you?
Where everywhere you just said, and on all socials, Willowisp TV.
Nice.
No spaces.
Joe, where can we find you?
Pretty much Colonel Panic everywhere. If you want to, the naming is spelled weird, so just hopefully just read the note.
The link
and find it.
Links are in the show notes.
I didn't help. And sometimes it has a space where it's allowed. So also, Colonel Panic.
So basically, we can't find you.
You can't find me. It's fine. I'm not to be found.
Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere as Phantom NXS.
And you
See,
can
that's easy, Colonel. Did you see how he did that?
Nope. I didn't see it unless it's in the notes.
You have to unlock his name with the battle pass.
Yeah, it's a DLC.
Yep.
$10. Please send me $10.
You could also pay to upgrade that battle pass to upgrade
Ooh.
levels.
Yep.
You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on a plethora of content here on Boss Rush Games as well as the rest of these guys in the near future. Very excited for the future of the video portion of this, whatever we call this place. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Willow. Thank you, Jesse. And until next time, we're gonna throw up an X.
Whoa, thank you, Corey, too, though. Can't forget about you, buddy.
Yeah, Corey. Thank you for hosting, and you know.
X marks the spot, right? R.
Yeah, no, X. Yep. We're throwing up the X because we are exiting out of here.
Napoleon?
Yeah.